Welcome back to blowing up helicopters and skateboarding on rocket skateboards, because it's the 80s!
90s.
And we're totally radical. What year did this game come out? I think it was 89.
It's the 90s.
We're still so late early into the 90s that we're basically in the 80s, right?
No.
Right?
No.
Okay, fine. Speaking of 90s, you know what franchise I miss from the 90s?
Captain Crunch?
Fucking MechWarrior. There hasn't been a good MechWarrior game in since 4 Mercenaries, right?
Yeah, and that came out
15 years ago? Yeah, like almost 15 years ago. I think exactly 15 years ago.
I thought you were going to say the 90s, and I was like, John, no, that came out like 2003 or 4.
Yeah, it's still a long time ago. But I mean, like, the heyday of MechWarrior was the 2000s, or 90s, right? Like, MechWarrior 2, Mercenaries, and MechWarrior 3. Which, there was an expansion to Mech 3 that I never got to play and have never gotten to work, the Pirate's Moon.
I don't think hey, good job. You finally caught up to me on points.
Which was a single-player expansion. Yeah, and I'm a survivor, so I'll end up with more points in the long run.
Yeah, but without me, you would have died. Because
you were protecting me.
Yeah, exactly.
You were my meat shield.
Exactly. I killed so many enemies.
You are the labor on which my capital is, something.
Shipped.
Yeah, shipped. Oh, no, I was gonna say built upon. But yeah, something. MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries is supposedly coming out later this year. It's been delayed a few times, and I'm super excited. Assuming, well, one, it's good, which it's got ups and downs. One, it's made by the studio that made MechWarrior Online, but they have a very different philosophy with the game. So, you know, like I want some of the things that were promised initially with MechWarrior 5 back like 6 years ago when that first teaser trailer happened.
Like what?
I want squad-based, like, how to put it?
Loadout?
Well, I want, like, you to have to work as a team with roles. Like, I really like the idea of, like, this one person's recon, this one person's the heavy hitter, this one person is, like, the ranged, got, you know...
So you want to make an MMO out of it?
Not an MMO, just, like, have...
Because you just
like
basically...
Like, similar to how, like, MOBAs have roles, or even Overwatch has roles. That's all. Hey, scene 5. Oh, cool. So if we continue now, then... What? Oh, okay, we
crashed the bus.
The mouse has got the rat, I suppose. Because these are mice, right? What would you say these are?
No, they're like little dinosaurs.
Okay, well, they carried off our master.
They took the professor.
Oh, these guys died on one jump kick. This is how we should have been killing them all along. You just gotta get low, shorty.
You just gotta time it.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I want it to be like squad oriented on the multiplayer. I want multiplayer and I want good co-op and PvP that has objectives. Objective based is a lot of what I want. I want, like, you know, go blow up this building and these guys are trying to defend it and these guys are trying to stop it. You know, that generally makes for good multiplayer. I want, like, you know, escort this train, hopefully not too obnoxiously, because usually escort missions are bad, right? Amarith?
Yeah?
You've not been playing for 10 minutes and you're falling asleep.
No, I'm not.
At 6 in the afternoon, I think you might have a sleep disorder.
Gee, you think? If only I could get a CT scan approved for my head.
It shows that you can't breathe while you sleep.
Yeah, which basically amounts to I'm just tired all the time, so I'm not getting enough sleep, so I don't have enough energy throughout the day, so that way I can't, you know, do exercise to lose weight. That way I can lose weight and then I can go to sleep.
Well, just lose weight. Come on. Jeez, take some personal responsibility.
It's just so easy.
Just start working out. Like, just devote like 2 extra hours a day to working out.
Even though you can't breathe.
And even though the nearest gym is like half an hour drive away.
Even though you can't breathe, which is, you know, the big part of that is, you know, in order to work out, you need to be able to breathe properly.
Yeah, it depends on the workout, but yeah. I thought that you
the kind of workout that would benefit me the most, you know, an anaerobic workout, which makes you, you know, lose your breath.
I mean,
yeah.
Any hard workout's gonna make you lose your breath, anaerobic or aerobic. I mean, you do anaerobic hard enough, and it is aerobic, right? Like it's cardio if you're.
You mean you do aerobic enough? It's anaerobic.
No, if you do anaerobic enough, it's aerobic. You know what? I'm not even gonna say like, comment, and subscribe. I forget what aerobic versus anaerobic is. I know like what we call an aerobic exercise makes your muscles more. I don't remember. I remember having like a grasp of this, and I may have been wrong in the past, but it doesn't matter too much because, you know, you're getting the sleepy sleeps. We need to get you back in here. I need to die so you can join me and you can continue to
Just
play.
die already.
Just die already? We're trying to make it through the game.
Gosh, John. You want me in that badly?
So what I really want out of MechWarrior 5 the most though, right?
No.
You don't?
I don't remember. You probably said it, but...
Good VR. I'm really hoping for good VR.
Yeah.
There's a VR giant robot game that's in, like, it's about the speed of MechWarrior, but it's very like there's less readout and it's much more like you're just in this cockpit looking around and like you have to physically grab your controls. So I'm really curious about that, but right now it's like very early access, so I don't want to download it to try it. It's called Vox Machina. So good luck spelling
Machina?
that. Type Vox into Steam and you'll see it. But that game, as it gets better, I'll be curious about. I might try, especially if the VR implementation on Mech 5 Mercenaries is not very good. But you know, it's missing a killer feature that would get me to like it even more, and that
having MechWarrior in the title.
Well, that too, but no, like this is something that both Jamie and Amy both said. Like, I would play this game and the if is if you can be a kaiju, if you could be a giant monster in the same game that giant robots can also fight each other. Like, because you could control it completely differently. Like, instead of, you know what I mean? Instead of sitting in a cockpit, you could just take up the space of a giant that is fighting the giant robots. So now your controls are like, whatever your, however you want to make the motion controls. If you're a giant, if you've got giant bladed weapons, you have giant bladed weapons. Yay! Finally gamed over. Look, it's all rainbow.
Yay!
Yeah.
Look at how
we're
exciting
semi-pride. Hey, we have 3 continues.
Do we get the only 3
Come on,
lives,
let's bust this nut. I mean, joint. I mean, no, don't do drugs. Oh, we have to start back over here. Hey, look, I'm ahead by so many points. So, jump kick these guys.
I'm sure I'll
or be like me and just die or take hits. I didn't die. So there's no killer. One of the biggest things I want out of a VR game where you're in a cockpit is I want like each unique model, each unique giant robot to have slightly different controls. I want their controls to be placed differently, like you would see in
because like
real life.
A little Firefly wouldn't have the same control scheme as an Atlas.
Yeah. Well, not just that, but you could do really cool things with like room scale VR. Like you could do something like have to physically walk around your ship, your mech. You can have like dual piloted mechs, a la Pacific Rim, but not with like that same style of motion controls. But you know what I mean? Like it's so complex that you need like a second person who just does like weapons and energy management or something. Like you could do something like that.
I know, John. How about we do this a little bit bigger? We get up to a crew of like 6.
Yeah, make a Voltron game. I mean, that would be pretty fucking badass, wouldn't it?
And then, like, someone can be in charge of engineering, and one person can be in charge of piloting all of them.
You're talking about Artemis / Empty Epsilon / Starstreet.
And someone could be the bridge captain.
Bridge crew. Yeah, that would be fun. I don't know, like, for this, when we're talking giant robots, though, it's got to be, like, Power Rangers or Voltron style, right? Like, where everyone has... I mean, I guess that is, like, a bridge game, isn't it? Once you have enough people controlling different things. Because you don't want, like... This person is the left arm. This person is the right arm. You have to coordinate together.
I mean, that'd be funny, right?
I will say a thing that is missing in VR in general is just, and I understand why it's not in there as much, is co-op / multiple people in the space, because it is just would be so hard to implement.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are multiplayer games in VR, so Robo Recall co-op mode is something that they could make. There are plenty of precedents, but they don't exist yet, and that makes me sad. The other thing I want to be able to do, have I talked about Google Earth VR yet? I haven't.
No, you haven't.
It either it came out recently or I first noticed it recently. But you can just literally fly around most of the world in like a good chunk of well-populated areas or well-known landmarks have full 3D models of them. So you can literally just go into Google Earth and literally fly around the world. And like,
that's cool.
Yeah, like you can. I've done stuff like, oh, hey, I'm gonna go to this place I visited before and see what it looks like. And the more well-treaded it is, the better Google has done at mapping it out. Because it feels like it's like you're standing in a diorama of a city or a diorama of a landmark. And it is just the coolest thing that I recommend anyone do. Like, it's worth the $350 for an Oculus Rift just for Google Earth VR if you've got that kind of money. This is pretty phenomenal. But it would be even cooler if you could fly around with another person, like literally just see another person in the VR so you could share an experience together.
And then you could show them the world.
Oh, I got an extra life. Oh, do you get an
shimmering.
extra life every 100 points?
I have no idea.
That must be...
Shining, shimmering, splendid.
Yeah, we didn't even notice that.
Tell me, princess.
Yeah, magic carpet ride. That's the April Fool's feature, right? Is you can just magic carpet ride with another person. Oh yeah, the controls are a bit wonky. It's not like Super Mario 64 flying like you would want. It's a little... The controls are a little wonky. And I think it's because they're trying to make it friendly to non-gamers, and I wish they gave you alternate control schemes, because I really do want to fly and bank like I do in my dreams instead of the kind of wonky-ish controls it has. But still total awesome program. 100% recommend. Go to a city you've never seen. Go to a city you have seen.
Let's
like
see how it's changed.
At one time I just like, you know what? I have that dream where I fly to work. I'm just gonna fly to work. You know, fly from home to work. Just
why not?
Yeah. Oh, got oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, got him.
Got him in that explosion. That gassy explosion.
Jamie's not here.
Wow. Oh, sorry. It's really hard to turn around once you're committed to a jump. I was gonna... Were you just waiting for me to save you?
No.
It looked like it. Speaking of Jamie, I've been talking about Jamie and Amy. But I'll talk about them next time on the branch, because I just looked at the timer.
Yeah.